Peace. When I was coming up in the streets, there was rules, right? In regards to fighting or defending yourself or something of that nature. And those rules don't seem to exist today because it seems to me that the only answer is a gun. So you got to learn that there's rules and everything. So check this out, right? If you in a conflict, when we was coming up, if you fought somebody, you know what I'm saying? And y'all fought and you lost the fight, you got to take the L, B. You got to take the L. You don't go home and get a gun and come back and kill somebody because you took a L. That's a sensitive person, man. You're too sensitive today because you take a loss. You understand what I'm saying? A loss builds character. You understand? A loss allows you to live. You go home and you live, but it also allows you to examine why you lost. What was you doing wrong in that conflict, in that fight? What did you do wrong to lose? So what it does is it gives you an opportunity to go get yourself right, because this is what we used to do. If you lose a fight, you go home, you hit the gym a little bit, you lift the weights a little bit, you get your speed up, you know what I'm saying? You get your energy up, you know what I mean? You get your vibration up, you know what I'm saying? And you work out, and in a week or two, you go back and you fight. You try to fight this person if it bothered you that you lost. You understand what I'm saying? You and the person a fight again. Get off the school bus, fight. Get downtown, you may fight or whatever. But the reality is that when it was all said and done, we both lived. And in this day and time, we're all friends. All of those people we used to fight with each other and all that, we're all friends today. You understand what I'm saying? Because that was a rite of passage in a sense. That was what we had to go through in order to survive the adversities in our community and in order to prosper and move past certain types of environment, certain types of ideas. You had to fight your way out. You understand what I'm saying? And it wasn't about, at this time, it wasn't about turf, where the most money is at on the turf. It was just about other things. You know what I'm saying? Like football, for instance. You know what I mean? Sherman Park Bulldogs and Valley and so on and so forth. Different schools and girls and all of these things. So when girls was involved, a dude would always try to shine. We had a roller skating rink. We had roller skating rinks where all sides of town met in this roller skating rink. And there was always a little fight, one or two, but it was based on ego and girls. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't based on drugs. It wasn't based on economics. It was just based on our own little egotistical things. But the reality is that we could fight, that we would fight each other. You know what I'm saying? And when we fought, you know what I'm saying, we used our hands. We had the intention of showing the skill set who was better with their hands because that's the way we was raised. But in this day and time, you know what I'm saying? In this day and time, y'all want to use guns. Because you ain't got it in your heart to fight. You don't know how to take a punch to the face and recover from that. You understand what I'm saying? You're so sensitive that you can't defend yourself in a right manner. You're so sensitive that you may take a L and somebody sees you take a L and you go home and you come back and you get a gun and you pop the trunk and you shoot somebody. But guess what, fam? You locked up now in jail forever where there are no guns, where you will have to use these. Don't you see it? Don't you get it? You're not skilled with your hands at all, but you're putting yourself in an environment where it's hand-to-hand combat. You're putting yourself behind the wall where it's hand-to-hand combat. Ain't no guns. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no guns. You know what I mean? So you might as well stop playing with the guns in the streets right now and get back to the old 1-2, the old school thing, man. Put your hands up. You know what I'm saying? Put your hands up and live. Put your hands up and live. You understand what I'm saying? And it's okay to run from a situation, man. You know what I'm saying? If you can't handle 5 or 6 dudes, you run. You don't pull out the gun and shoot all of them. You run. It's honorable to run and you come back another day and you fight again because you can live again. You fight again. You come back and you fight again. And if you have to, you get them one by one. That's honorable. You know what I'm saying? That's honorable. You see son downtown and it's just him, then you approaching your fam. It was 5 of y'all yesterday. Now it's just me and you. What we going to do? Let's go around this corner and let's box. 9 times out of 10, he'll say no. Why? Because he's accustomed to jumping. He's accustomed to having others with him. You know how Tupac made that old song, "You ain't shit without your homeboys"? Real talk. A lot of brothers ain't shit without their homeboys. They need their homeboys in order to do whatever they need to do. And then there are some of us who walk alone, who don't need homeboys, who just out here alone and able to handle themselves in a very adequate manner if needed to be, and are intelligent thinkers. You see what I'm saying? I'll never put myself in an environment where I can't make it home. You understand? I'll never put myself in a situation where I might get murdered. because of somebody else. See, you can see the character in a person. When they talking that smack and they jaw-jacking, you can see a shooter. Because the shooter is over-exaggerated. Oh, yo, son, over-exaggerated because he got that thing on him. You know what I'm saying? But if he didn't have that thing on him, he wouldn't be over-exaggerated. And he wants to draw the attention to him. But as soon as 5-0 come, he'll get rid of the gun and hide it. And that's when he should really be showing it off or really using it, because that's his enemy, the system. Not somebody who looks like him. Even though he's been conditioned to think that his own self is his enemy. Someone who looks like him, you understand, is his enemy, because that's what poverty does. You know what I'm saying? Poverty turns you against your own self. And those who, in the system that has you impoverished, you give that accolade. You protect it. You protect it, not knowing that you're dying from it. So my thing is this, I just want you to understand. The youth got to do things a little different, and we got to begin to press them in a different way. You understand what I'm saying? We gotta make them understand that this is more honorable than pulling out a gun. Anybody can shoot a gun. You know what I'm saying? A gun is used from distance, because distance keeps you away, because you want distance because you can't deal with them up close. You can't deal with them without the heat, without the gun. So to me, you're a coward. Anybody shooting off guns and licking, that's weak. It's weak. You're a coward. You don't have any ability to defend yourself, so you want to use a gun. You want to use a gun. And then you can't take the consequence of using the gun because you get locked up. Some of you may commit suicide. You know what I'm saying? Some of you can't really even be behind those walls. You know what I'm saying? And some of you are behind the walls and you're not as hard as you thought you was. And now you somebody's girl, but then you come home being hard again. But we all can see through it because the scars and the trauma is on you. You understand what I'm saying? A jail experience, I've never had one. But I know brothers who went to jail and made it through and, you know what I'm saying, made it without any harm on them. And then there's some brothers who went to jail and got a lot of harm on them, but come home as if they didn't. But you can see it. They're scarred. You can see the trauma in them. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being stated, I just want you to know, use your hands, man. Let's get back to the good old hand-to-hand combat, and let's use those. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. The constant killing of our own selves by each other. And then we're silent about it. Again, it's a hypocritical thing, man, and we cannot continue to be hypocrites. You understand what I'm saying? We have to understand what peace is and how we can operate in peace. But before we have peace, we have to kill those conflicts. And those conflicts don't have to be killed by guns. We can get in the ring and box it out. Whatever you want to do, that's what needs to be done. There needs to be an alternative to solving problems instead of just killing each other with guns. Because it's easy. And it seems cool, but it's not cool. It's cowardice. Peace.